future home of Super Bowl 56. There's a look at SoFi Stadium just south of downtown Los Angeles. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Los Angeles Chargers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game. And I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Third down.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Darnold completes it, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. Darnold will hand off to McCaffrey.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
On first down, Darnold escaping the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23.
Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Open space inside the 10. And finally down at the 9-yard line. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Tommy Trimble, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0.
Chargers, nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
4 yards of the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, you know, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, you know, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
He'll fire this one deep for Eckler. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Allen! And that looked almost to be a case of, you know, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. 5-3, their record at the halfway point. And you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple things working against them. And number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to that and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 72 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. These two teams all tied after one.
Score time, 7-7.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Eluding the pressure right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. When he went on the move there and started rolling out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one. That may have been the case there, and the defense certainly benefited. Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field. I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really...
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Yetur Gross-Matos just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Herbert now. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
At their own 38-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Carolina. Well, Christian McCaffrey is as tough to bring down as they come at the running back position, and he proved it right there. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7.
14. Chargers 7. Zane Gonzalez.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. He'll hand off here to Eckler. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes, and half...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A fake to McCaffrey. Now Darnold. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Here's Darnold.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia.
20! And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD.
Now Joey Slye for the point after.
And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14.
That ties the game at 14.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
147 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. There he goes again. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Flush to his right.
There's Tremble, the tight end.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a 1st down and more. And he gets this one down to the 24.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Darnold from the red zone now. And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Flushed out right. And he'll just get rid of it.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Darnold down to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. The Charger D making things difficult, and it's 4th down.
Zane Gonzalez on for the field goal. A 41-yard attempt.
Gonzalez's kick is good, and they take a 17-14 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the three.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The Charger drive about to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Eluding the pressure right. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 33. So a nice catch right there. And this receiving core, without their number one wideout, keep that in mind. He's inactive this week, though it shouldn't be a long-term absence.
And I would think, partner, that this is where an offensive coordinator believes he can solve the problem by spreading the ball around. Because anytime you lose your number one guy, it's obviously a blow to your offense. But it's also an opportunity to say, hey, they can't focus on trying to stop one guy. Keep spreading it around. The last part, each one of those receivers, they believe they're the number one guy, and they're ready to step up.
Herbert throwing again. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
And they've used him in the passing game to great effect so far. And here they get it to him again on the screen, and it turns into a nice positive play.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down. Here's Herbert. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Herbert jet sweep as he taps it forward. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. On second and goal, Herbert. And this will be caught in the end zone for the Chargers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling as the first half is winding down. And the Chargers are going to retake the lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game.
Panthers 17.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they will not really have time to do much of anything. 15 seconds, all that remains before halftime. Play action. It's Darnold. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. A big play there just before halftime. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. This is McCaffrey on the give. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within a point. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The final shot before the break for Herbert. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you to our EA studios in Orlando. Here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1 yard gain up to the 26. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Panthers are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
190 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
At the 47-yard line.
Another run with McCaffrey on second down. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
From the 50, it's Darnold. Flushed out right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Off of play action, Darnold. Escaping the pressure right. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. To throw is Darnold. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Second and inches at the 27-yard line.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Well, praise has to go to the guys in the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ballgame.
3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. Now room for Eckler. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Herbert. And to the right side here, it's Allen.
It's a gain of 8. That's another Chargers.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
2nd and 10. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that'll bring up 4th down. A bit of extra pressure now for this one on Joey Slye. This for a 4th quarter lead. And his kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 2nd down and right back to McCaffrey. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one.
And Darnold got to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off near the 32. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
Extra point by Slye is up and good. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And can they regroup? That's the question. The pick 6 hurt, no doubt, but this is still a one-score game here in the 4th. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Eluding the pressure right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Derwin James with a pick. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Herbert takes it and just pops it forward. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
The Chargers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now it's Herbert. This is swung out to Eckler, and he's taken down inside the 30.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Herbert now to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Meanwhile, Darnold's throw is caught here by Anderson. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Darnold. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Darnold completes it. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other. Here's Darnold. He got the big lead. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. There he goes, right side. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this two-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Second and goal from the 6 this time. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that